All right, beautiful people. Please give this a like and subscribe. I'd appreciate it. But I want to go over defense, war names. Obviously, we just started bombing Iran again. And these names have been on my radar, seeing this coming for a while now. And not really surprised. If you've been with me for a while, you know what we've been talking about. But I want to go over some of my favorite picks. As you guys know, if you're in any of the Pitbull rooms, we entered RTX at a great entry recently. Two really good entries there, actually. And we've been holding RDW. Higher risk play there, but I have a real safe way of playing that for a ton of upside that is extremely cheap and awesome. So we'll go over the RDW trade, go over the RTX trade, and try and find the next best opportunity here, which I think might be Kratos, but kind of compare the good and bad of each. So with RTX, this is kind of a best of both worlds play for me here. So it had some pullback. So we got a buy signal at the end of last year on the daily. And we've been in an uptrend ever since then. So we got a buy signal at about 172 and played a little bit of the upside there. My more recent entries have been around this 184 demand zone here. We got in there again. Then popped up, take supplies, or take, excuse me. Been taking profits around the 200s every time. This time, though, notice how we gapped down a little bit. Let's see, right when we hit 205 or so, we gapped down the next day back to 200. And so didn't play that downtrend at all. Got in on this reversal, though, around 195. This first entry here. And been climbing ever since then. I actually didn't expect that climb to happen until something like war with Iran broke out. So it started climbing through it, broke through that gap. I probably would have taken profits if I noticed it, but I wanted to hold something through the weekend, seeing this coming. This was very well seeded in the media that this was a good potential to happen. So what we're looking at now is we are entering the supply zone. I believe that's all-time highs. If not, it's all-time highs for this year for sure. But yeah, so we're approaching all-time highs again. You see that supply zone there, but you can also see on the Pitbull crystal ball indicator that that's putting us on a trend up to 220-ish, 220, 230 range. And with war breaking out right now, if this escalates on any level, I believe we could definitely see 220 fast. We do have our take profit set at 202.50. I think we'll probably blow through that first take profit. I don't think we'll even see it. If this news trend stays where it's at, we'll probably be looking at this 208 for a potential take profit again. And then really this third take profit up here, like 215, looks like a solid target to reach for. And as long as this escalates on any level, I would say solid chance for that to happen relatively quickly. Find it weird they're showing videos of people marching in Iran and none of the women have their head covered in the marches. I'm wondering if that is Iran that they're showing. I just remember them making a big to-do. I'm not really sure what their law is like exactly over there when it comes to Islamic law. I just remember them making a big to-do about it when some woman showed up too much hair or something, and I don't know if they arrested her or killed her or what the issue was. Anyway, sorry, a little bit ADD here. So we filled that gap from previous. We're headed uptrend, definitely. This stock looked good even without the war breaking out. With war breaking out, definitely like this name. One of my favorite defense names is one that hasn't ran too much. It's not too overheated yet and didn't have a ton of action priced in. Solid company. So then going into the other stocks, though, so we got in at 196. we're looking to take some profits, maybe Monday if we get a nice pop, which we should, and then looking for a 215 target after that. Next, RDW is much more speculative. So these other ones, Northrop Grumman, Boeing, Lockheed. I'll go through them quick. So notice all of these have more downturn projected in our crystal ball indicator. Doubt that'll happen with this news, but you can see how overheated they are. Some gaps to the downside coming up. Don't really want to mess with it. It is still on an uptrend, but I would rather see some pullback. When you have a name that has this much market cap and the stock price is this high, like making a mistake on a single options contract here will cost you a pretty penny. So I tend to avoid names that are overheated over $600. It's probably not going to be a good one for me. Oops, let me get to this. So same story here with Northrop Grumman. This is probably the safest, best bet. In terms of names, the liquidity isn't as great. Options liquidity, definitely not. And already getting overheated, as you can see now. Boeing definitely has some upside. I love it. I love the play between 200 and 250, but we're kind of chopping in the middle of that right now. I did just get a sell signal on it. That's probably not one I would pay any attention to, but we did reverse off some relatively nice highs. Some gaps to the downside to be aware of in the future, but I mean, if we got back down there, everybody knows that's a buying opportunity if there ever was one. Excuse me. All right, so now the fun stuff. So RDW, much more speculative company. Another one that we have a play in, though. I love this play. With good reason. So you see we entered when we hit this demand zone here. We had a buy signal there that we took a long time ago. It was $6. Got out of that $6 one, I think around 11, 12 bucks. So I had a nice little double up with options too, so a few $1,000%. No biggie. And pops up to that supply zone. We pulled on back, and our most recent entry is here around 8.12. Now, I love this play because it is a much riskier name, and we ate some downside already. So when we got in at 8.12, it saw a little bit of downside after that, came back into 750-ish. Maybe it says 767. The kids will love that one. Anyways, so I saw some downside already in this play and didn't see much reaction in the pricing of the play that we have, because this one we're running spreads on. So we have buy the 8, sell the 15. And since it's a smaller stock with a lot of volatility priced in, high IV, I think we did these several months out. So to buy the 8 and sell the 15, I think was $1.50, and to buy the 10 and sell the 15 was like $1. So you're looking like a 500% return with very little risk, lots of upside, not much downside. When it does move down, the spread isn't changing that much. It's not losing that much value, but when it moves up, you're getting a nice little pump. Should get a good opportunity here with the news to get out of this baby at that nice 11 mark, but you can see the Pitbull crystal ball on this one has predictions going all the way up into that 14, 15 area. So that would be ideal for our spreads to fill that entire spread. So one of my favorite plays right there. Very confident in that one. Kratos. Another very high. Ooh, is that about to enter that gap? That just got me so excited. Okay, let's see what we got going here. Oh, wait, this might be the one. Oh, man, look at those gaps on the upside, too. Okay, so this is super high PE, probably overpriced, smaller cap. Not quite small cap, I don't think, but smaller Definitely smaller float, more speculative defense name. You see it's hit all the way up to 135 in the past, and it's down a pretty penny here. This is an interesting one. I'd be careful here, but with the war news, I mean, this could be a golden opportunity if there ever was one. It'll probably open way up on Monday. It might be tough. But if we got to open around that 90.68 entry that you see right there, that's probably what I'd take. I'd want to see either an open there or maybe even an open 95 and then pull back to there and then go. And I would be looking at these take profits relatively accurately at 101, 108, and 119. Those seem reasonable. So highly speculative name. Options are kind of pricey on this one. Same with AVAV. Also a little bit pricey options. Coming down to a nice demand zone if we get any more pullback on this one. Getting a reversal signal already though above that demand zone. So I have a feeling that crystal ball will take in Monday's price action and send it up towards that supply zone instead of pulling back all the way to freaking 160. I can't imagine that happening. So if you want to play it, more risk, more reward, bigger upside. RCAT too, that's a drone company. They're sending drones left and right all over the place. So, but AVAV, KTOS, RCAT, RDW, ONDS, all the cheaper names basically. If you're a defense company, a security company, and you cost less than $40, you are heavy on the risk, but lots of upside. You want one more in the middle, go with Boeing. Some risk, more risk than the others, but lots of upside. And then if you want the best bang for your buck, in my opinion, you're going RTX. And if you don't mind overpriced options, not necessarily overpriced, but very expensive options, where you're going to be seeing more incremental gains likely and tough to play the spreads and whatnot, then you can go with the bigger companies, NOC and LMT. So hope this helps you guys get prepared. If you well, you're not prepared because it already happened. So we already started the war. We're always pricing for the future. The market always prices what's in the future, not what already happened. So that already happened. You missed it. Should have been in Pitbull Alerts, where we've been buying these babies up and talking about this nonstop for weeks, getting ready for this exact moment. There's also the energy plays, which have a lot of room to run as well. So we've been playing those left and right as well, taking good profits, but making good money on the way up, and should see some more upside. Gold, silver also can benefit from this. The VIX could benefit from this. Although I've been wrong a couple times on these war calls in terms of thinking that volatility would increase when it didn't. But this one, I have a hard time not seeing it pump it. This is a bigger incident than Iran and Israel, or just a one-off bombing of Iran's nuclear sites like last time. It seems like this is a much bigger deal. So I think we'll have more to deal with, and probably more downside, more volatility, and more upside on the energy and defense names. We'll see how these open on Monday, though. Be safe out there. Protect capital first. Play it smart. Play it safe. Don't risk what you don't have. This is not advice. This is not telling you to buy anything. Just do what makes sense for you. And please subscribe. Much appreciated.